All right. First day blues is the mistake I've been making all summer long. I forgot to hit, well, that was way too close up of my face. We forgot to hit record on today's class. Therefore, I'm going to redo it for you. So those of you who could not join us, this is what you missed. Basically, we went over the syllabus. So let's go over the syllabus together. And we talked about what's going to be going on in the class and how you're going to be taking it. And just kind of got comfortable with each other in the format. Real quickly, let's take a look at the syllabus here. And it helps if I share the screen. Share the screen. Share the screen. Oh, I bet it helps if you press the big button that says share screen. There we go. All right, sharing the screen now. We're talking about Chemistry 170, General College Chemistry 1. We will meet live 10:30 to 11:45 Monday and Wednesday. If you can't make it, then you need to watch these recordings like this, and hopefully I'll remember to hit record so that I'm not giving 2 lectures every day. Don't have time for that. During the live sessions, we'll focus on mathematical problem solving aspects. In addition to these live sections, you'll have some pre-recorded lectures, but I'm getting way ahead of myself. My name is Dr. Kelly, by the way. Due to COVID-19, I won't be in my office. However, I'm available 24/7 via question help message board. I'm also available via Google Voice. Let's take a look at the question and help message board. So you go to your course shell. You'll notice that last night when you logged into the course, I had a bunch of buttons hidden. The world is now open to you. All buttons are shown. I'm going to enter your student preview mode so you can see. There we go. Now all your buttons are shown. You can locate your syllabus, first of all, right there under the button that says syllabus. I encourage you to download and read your syllabus, share it with family and friends so that you can see what's going on in the class. Pre-record, where was I? Oh, question help message board. Question help message, it's been a long morning. Question and help message board is the best, most reliable way to contact me. Now, it's not going to let me take a look because I'm in student preview mode, but, well, I guess I can exit student preview mode. The question help message board is the best way to contact me. Whenever you have a question, create a new thread and ask it here. The key to really communicating an online course or even in a hybrid course like this is specificity of communications, meaning the more specific you can be with your questions, the better off you're going to be. Rather than just say, for example, I don't understand measurement. Well, I'm going to say, I just spent 3 hours lecturing over measurement. Which part of the 3 hours don't you understand? Or rather than you saying, you know, that'd be a question way too broad for me to answer. I have no way of knowing even how to begin to answer a question like I don't understand measurement. Well, let's say you say a much narrower question. I don't understand how to convert meters to centimeters. Okay, that's a much better question. I can work with that. But even better would be if you told me what it was that made you think you didn't understand meters to centimeters. Most of the time when you don't understand something, it shouldn't be an emotional reaction. It should be a piece of evidence that tells you you don't understand it. In other words, you think you don't understand centimeters to meters conversions because you got problem 1.57 wrong in the homework, right? So the best way to ask the question that you don't understand centimeters to meters is, I got 1.57 wrong. I think I don't understand meters to centimeters, right? That narrows your issue down very specifically to the piece of evidence that makes you think you don't understand what's going on. That allows me to work with you and to help you to solve that problem. So make sure you ask questions that are very specific. Another thing that will really, really help you out in this question help message board is Even if you're just sending me an email, go ahead and post in this question help message board that you sent me an email for 2 reasons. First, I get an insane amount of email a day. I literally break 200 to 300 emails a day. Your email will become lost, not because I don't care, not because I'm not looking for your email, but just the sheer volume. If you post on the question help message board, your email will never get lost because I will run a search for my email inbox to find your email, right? So make sure that when you send me an email, post. It will get your question answered a lot faster. Matter of fact, if you don't post, your question may not get answered, not because I'm a mean jerk, but simply because it may get buried, right? That email that you sent me at 9:30 in the morning may be 100 emails down by the time 5 o'clock at night rolls around and I'm sitting trying to churn through that email and I just may not see it. Also, my email address and my spelling's unusual. So a lot of times people think they've sent me an email. They're sitting there cursing, saying, you never answer my email. And I never got the email because they spelled my name wrong, right? So that way, if you sent me an email and you post you sent me an email, then I can simply post back to you, hey, I didn't get your email. Try again. Here's my email address. My email address is on the syllabus, by the way. But this is the best way to contact me. I also have Google Voice and Text, but I really prefer the message board here. And I'm here to help you guys. There's never an excuse for not knowing the answer to a question. I'm here to help you. Additionally, if you can ever attend any of the live sessions, one of my intentions is to start every single live session really by asking you if there are any questions over the homework. So that's one of the advantages of me going live twice a week. Course description, let me stress, this is a course that emphasizes mathematical problem solving to illustrate the principles of chemistry, and it's designed for students in the sciences, engineering, and pre-professional programs. First of all, this class is algebra in sheep's clothing. A lot of what we do here is taking college algebra and applying it. Starting next time, we'll be working with manipulating powers of 10. Before the end of next week, we'll be working with ratios commonly. We'll be solving linear equations probably before the end of the next 3 weeks. We will be doing a lot of math and application of math. If math is not your favorite subject, you may want to consider an easier chemistry class, like Chemistry 140, and then working your way up to Chemistry 120. You may want to consider taking college algebra first, then taking college chemistry. If you're comfortable with your powers of 10, if you're comfortable with your basic algebra, welcome. I look forward to working with you, and you'll do fine in the class. But be forewarned that it's very mathematical based. Also, this is a course designed for students in the sciences, engineering, and pre-professional programs. Pre-professional means doctor, dentist, some nursing programs. This is a class where if people don't know their stuff, somebody dies, right? If a doctor doesn't know what they're doing, somebody dies. If a pharmacist gives you the wrong medication, you could potentially die. If a civil engineer designs a bridge and it collapses with people on it, guess what? Somebody dies. I will not be responsible for harming somebody because I passed somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, right? So if you pass this class, you will know chemistry. If you took this class at, ooh, cool, that's not cool. Hey, if you took this class at the University of Kentucky or U of L, first day I took it at UK. The first day they told me to look to my left, look to my right. Those two people wouldn't be there. Well, I sat in the first row and I looked to the left, I looked to the right. Those two people were still there at the end of the semester, but everybody behind us was gone. But anyway, basically at U of L UK, 2/3 of their freshman chemistry classes fail the course. I do a lot better. The reason I'm able to do a lot better is unlike UK where it's a class of 300 and U of L where it's a class of 150, I have 30 of you in a class. Not only that, but I am paid to teach you, right? That's where my work emphasis is. That's where my priority in life is. Therefore, I'm here to help you. So that's one reason my pass rate is pretty much the inverse. About 2/3 of you will pass Chemistry 170. How do you get in the right 1/3? Let's talk about that next. Treat Chemistry 170 a lot like you treat a math class. You listen to the lecture. You then go and do the homework. As you do the homework, you figure out what areas you struggle with or what areas you have a problem with. Then you come back to class the next day. You ask me about those problems. You hop online. You ask me about those homework problems. We look over them. Night before a test, what do? You review your notes. You go over those homework problems that you had issues with and rework them. Another thing that makes chemistry a little bit different than a math class is there is a little bit of memorization. I would strongly urge you to consider recopying your class notes every day into an organized fashion, spending a little time memorizing those things that we have to memorize. And I hate memorization. One of the reasons I became a chemist was because it was one of the best careers I could find that didn't involve memorization. I hate memorization. I'd much rather figure things out and solve things and understand things. That's another key to chemistry. If you take the time to understand instead of memorize, if you know why rather than the conclusion, you'll have a lot easier time in the long run. Things will stick with you better. Your ability to build concepts will be better. So those are a couple keys to the class and how to be on the right 2/3 of the class. The other 2/3 of the class, the other big secret is do the work, man. Just simply do the work. This is a class in your major. You are starting your career. Right now, you are starting your career. That means that faith, family, and chemistry need to be your priorities, and not necessarily in that order. This is really the start of your job, and you need to treat it that way. This class has 4 hours of lecture a week, 3 of it live, and about 1 hour delivered via pre-recorded lecture. In addition to that 4 hours of lecture time, you're going to be having anywhere from 8 to 12 hours of homework and study. You need to make time for it. You need to do it daily, right? Let chemistry become the habit of your life. Block out times every day to study chemistry. Don't let chemistry become an afterthought to what you're doing. When you're planning out your coursework, if you're in this class, it's important to your major, otherwise you wouldn't be in here. So when you're doing your homework, your priorities should be chemistry, calculus, and then other sciences, and then who cares about the rest, right? Those should be your priorities. This class should be your #1 priority. And I know every professor says that. Only listen to the ones who are in your major. So if Mr. Wicks in calculus is telling you calculus should be your priority, I'll forgive him, right? He's right. It should be your priority right along there with chemistry. How to contact me. We've gone over these. Textbook. There's no physical textbook. The bookstore will sell you a $20 loose leaf copy of the textbook if you want one. I do not require any reading. All material that you need to know will be delivered via lecture. So I've not read your book. The only reason I have a textbook is so we can get this homework program going. This homework program is Mastering Chemistry, and you see it right here. And I forgot to hit record again, didn't I? Did I forget to hit record? I forgot to hit record. Just a second. Oh, good. No, I'm recording. Yay. Sorry. Bad day on the recording here. Let's go back to share screen. Right here in your Blackboard shell, you'll see something labeled Mastering Chemistry. This is where you're going to do all your homework, quizzes, exams, and tests. Click Mastering Chemistry, and it'll take you through to this window. 90% of any issues that you will have with Mastering Chemistry, by the way, can be solved by clearing your cookies and restarting your browser. All your homework for it will be found here. In addition to your homework, there's an electronic copy of the textbook if you want to read it. I will never require reading. I will give you handouts. I will deliver lectures. All the material on an exam will be coming from my lecture. So I'm not one of those professors who gives you an exam and said, aha, I can't believe you got it wrong because you didn't read page 343's caption of the third picture. No. It's going to be coming solely from that. So that's mastering chemistry here. Also, to smooth communications, whenever I assign something, I'll always post an announcement for it. For example, today, one of your first assignments is going to be listen to a pre-recorded lecture. I will use pre-recorded lecture to deliver material that's important, as in you still need to have it and still need to know it, and you will be tested on it. However, it's memorization, right? As a teacher, I can't help you with memorization. I can give you mnemonic devices, and I'll give those to you in the video. But really, you've got to spend the time to memorize it, make flashcards, whatever, right? Unless I'm going to go to your house and sit there asking you, give me that definition again, give me that definition, right? I can't help you with, as a teacher, really with a memorization aspect. So that's why I'll use memorization concepts over those pre-recorded videos. Live videos I will save where I have the live class interaction, whether you're watching me asynchronously like you are now, or whether you're watching me in person. I'll save those for the mathematical problem solving concepts where I'm working a problem and you may want to interrupt me mid-problem to ask me what the bleep I'm doing because you're not understanding. Yes? Memorization concepts are pretty much straightforward. And not something I would anticipate having a lot of questions on. Although if you've got questions, please ask them, right? Never, ever, ever suffer in silence in this class. It's the oldest cliche in the book, but it is the truth. The only bad question is one not asked. That doesn't mean I want to be put through my PhD paces again, please. Back to Blackboard show. Pre-recorded lectures. When you have a pre-recorded lecture, they'll be in the, guess what? The pre-recorded lecture folder. And I'll tell you exactly what pre-recorded lecture they are. All the live lectures and the pre-recorded lectures have hidden words in them. You will be asked a lecture quiz every time there's lecture about what words I asked you to write down. For example, today you're going to write down the word Lego. I hope you're writing down the word Lego. Did you write down the word Lego? You should have written down the word Lego. If you didn't write down the word Lego, I'm solely disappointed that you didn't write down the word Lego because it means you weren't listening to me say Lego. And that's my way of documenting attendance, for better or for worse, especially for those of you who are attending asynchronously. What am I doing here? All my pre-recorded lectures are on YouTube. Welcome. You'll get a look at one soon enough. The lecture quizzes over them are always going to be in Mastering Chemistry. Again, I'll always post an announcement so you know what lectures to listen to. I'll post an announcement with our live class recordings every day. I will make this easy for you to follow. If I'm not, tell me I'm not, and I'll come up with another way of communicating. All right. Another thing, guys, I've been at this 13 years. I have done asynchronous online courses for 13 years. And if I say so myself, I'm pretty darn good at them. I've never done this format before. So communicate with me. If there's something that's not working, let me know. Give me feedback. I have no ego. I may not agree with your comments and I may choose not to implement your suggestion, but I'm never going to get angry at you for making it. I'm never going to take it personally that you made it. And I know one thing's got to be that I'm way too close to the camera half the time. So I'll work on that. But at any rate, another thing to point out in this course shell is worked homework problems. if you run into trouble on the homework, for a lot of those homework problems, I already have videos made up that will tell you how to work them. For example, if you had trouble with homework problem 2.40, part A, you click that and there'll be a video showing you how to work it. Speaking of homework, let's talk about grades. Grades in this class are the standard grading scale. Grade calculations are based on a weighted grade scale, meaning I weight your lecture quizzes to 5%, your homework to 20, your practice test to 10, and your exams to 65. This is to do you a favor. That 20% of your homework grade essentially is boosting your score 2 letter grades. Actually, it's more like a letter grade and a half. It's boosting you a letter grade at least. The homework is a rigged game in your favor. I give you, on all open-ended homework questions, I give you 6 attempts to get it right. 6 attempts! And I give you a week to do it in. If you're smart, you go home, you try the homework the night it's assigned. And after you do that homework, if you have issues, you can come and ask me. What I tell people to do is I tell people, try every homework problem 3 times before you seek help. Why? Because part of what you're doing as a chemist is developing problem-solving ability. You may look at a homework problem and you say, I think I know how to work it. So you start working it one way and you get it wrong, or you run into a problem, or you're not quite sure that's the right way to work it. Hopefully, you already have something turning in your mind about the second way to work it, right? Trial and error. It's through that trial and error process that you really learn how to solve problems, much better than simply running to the key and looking at the answer. So try it like 3 attempts on your own before you go to that question help, before you go to that folder where I have the problems worked out, or before you ask me for help. All right, but you've tried it 3 times, you can't get it right. So look into homework problems, post on the question help message board, or at the beginning of every live class, I plan to take questions over homework. In other words, you can always get help for those questions. Every attempt you get wrong is only 3% off. So you can miss it 5 times and still get an 85 on that question. Not only that, but towards the end of the semester, you'll have homework assignments that are nothing but extra credit, meaning that any problems that you missed due to things getting wrong, or any late points you accumulated because you turned in an assignment late, you can usually make up with those extra credit points. It's very rare that somebody passes the class and doesn't have an A in the homework grade. Matter of fact, most people that pass the class have homework grades that are 100, 102, 103, as in they've earned enough homework points that 20% there actually winds up being 21%. And it winds up boosting their test scores because very slightly, right? The bonus points in homework count towards homework, but because homework's weighted, they can increase that weighting factor for the homework. So do your homework. Also, this little clause I have in here, you cannot receive a grade in class higher than your homework. It is inconceivable. Anybody seen Princess Bride? It is inconceivable that, I do not think that word means what you think it means. It's inconceivable that anybody can score an A on their exams without having done the homework. This is not one of those classes. This is a class that unless you're, I'll be honest, I've been at this is my 17th year, and I've seen 2 people in 17 years who were so wickedly smart. They were smarter than me. I mean, people smarter than me come along all the time. But I'm saying I've seen 2 people that were so smart that they could really just listen to the lectures, come in and take the tests. Because of that, I have this clause. The only way I think you can get an honest grade on an exam is if you've done the homework and put in the time. Therefore, I won't let you score higher in the class than you have on your homework grade. But as I said, the homework's a rigged grade. There's no excuse for any student not getting an A or at least a high B. Occasionally I'll get somebody with an 89 in the homework grade passing the class. But you see what I'm saying? The homework's a rigged grade in your favor. No one is going to pass my tests without having done that homework. So I have that clause in there. Be aware of that clause. But it is never hurt anybody who has taken the test legitimately. And we'll leave it at that. Lecture quizzes. Lecture quizzes are simply asking you to write down those words. They'll be given every time we have class. Practice tests are exactly that. However, if I don't make them worth something, people don't do them. And doing those practice exams, on average, raises people's exam scores a letter grade. The difference between a D and a C for a lot of students and a lot of you will actually be doing that practice test and understanding what you missed. A little bit of an allergy problem here. Plus you'll discover I'm always thirsty. Exams, final exam will be cumulative. Late work, most homework problems, I'll give you a week to do them in. As I discussed, you really need to do them the first night I assign them so that you can use the rest of that week to get help if you need it. I still will accept homework after 7 days. It's just at a 2.5% a day late penalty. But the good news is that you can be 11 days late on an assignment and still get an A on it. I mean, you can do 11 days after the thing was first assigned and still get an A on it. So that's pretty awesome, quite frankly. Because of that, I do have this little thing where I won't waive that late penalty on homework at all. And part of that comes from the fact that the rate of this material is going to be coming at you after today really, really fast and furious. Great movie franchise. And you have to keep up. If you cram, you die in this course. You can't be a crammer in this course. You've got to do it every day. You have to keep up. So even if you get sick, this is brutal, but it's one of the brutal truths of college and life, period. When you get sick, that simply means you have to wind up working harder once you feel better, right? I hate getting sick because when I'm sick, I know that means when I get back, I'm going to face 3 or 4 days of pure heck while I try to get caught up. If you get sick, you either have to go through those days of pure heck until you get caught up, or you need to withdraw. That 2.5% a day is a small, minuscule incentive to try to force you to get caught up. It sounds mean, it sounds cruel, but really, as warped as this sounds, it is meant to help you and meant to be a favor to you. Reset policy. Computer problems happen very rarely with mastering chemistry. It works really well. This summer, it handled 300-400 students in my different classes, and I had 1 reset. But I'll reset things for you due to computer issues 3 times. After that is 10% of your grade on that assignment, because I don't think there's anybody's internet can go out once, right? It happens. It'll probably happen to me during a live lecture. But chances of it going out 3 times during the course of the semester, watch me curse myself here, knock on wood, aren't that great. The rest of the stuff's pretty boilerplate. The big thing is communicate with me. I'm here to help you. I want to help you. I want you to get through this. Stay in contact, ask questions. If I left anything off of this quiz like Lego, make sure you let me know. All right, that's it.